So hi, welcome to Cherie's Weight Loss Journey. Today I got out early, and it was so early my dog didn't care. That my dog didn't care that I had got out this morning. So I went ahead and got out, and I did 2 dashes, right? And the reason why I'm doing dash instead of Uber is because there was a problem with my Uber card, my Uber Pro card. And yeah, so because of that, I was like, okay, well, let's see if we could do a DoorDash. But right now, look, this is what it is, a blank screen. I did 2, and I did it based off of the hourly payment. So I don't know what that means, and in terms of payment, it was my first time trying it that way. And now I can't get no orders. Why? I don't know. I was down here and it was like, oh, do you want to switch back? You want to change your area, or else, you'll have to return back to your area. But this is all I'm getting is just a blank screen from DoorDash, which I don't understand why. So let me go ahead and see if it's, I guess it's my phone. I don't want to go here. So, welcome to Cherie's Weight Loss Journey. This morning I woke up very early this morning, so I went ahead and I did my lightweight exercises. And I wasn't tired and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I decided to go ahead and see about door dashing early in the morning. So right now it's 7:10, and I did get out. I did do some door dashing, and I guess I'm just not meant to do any more dashing, and so I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to go back home. I did 2. It took me all the way to North Dallas. Then it took me to East Dallas. And so now I'm pretty much close to back home. Pretty close to being back home. Yeah. So that must be what I might be forced to do, is just go on back home. And I don't have a problem going back home, because I was thinking about going back home anyway. Because now it's 7 o'clock and it's definitely rush hour. I mean, there was little traffic earlier this morning. It was cool enough, it didn't seem like I was burning that much of my battery. Yeah. So, I may have just went out and just earned $10. But I didn't feel harried or rushed. So, that was a good thing. Right? I was not frustrated. I didn't try to press myself. And, yeah. I was met in the parking lot, the first drop off, and she gave me the name of somebody else, and I told her, look, with Uber I can probably just give you this order, but no, DoorDash does not allow me to do that. I have to do her instructions. But she said she had came out because she had seen that I was having a hard time finding the apartment, and I was having a hard time finding the apartment because it was still dark. And so I was glad she came out, but on Uber it showed that I had not gotten to the location, which is really interesting, because if they're with the phone, and that phone is the location, then I don't know. I just told her that, I'm gonna have to walk up to the door and actually make a photo that I did as instructed. I know with Uber, if somebody was to meet me, they would indicate, I'm going to meet you, or you can say you just handed it off to the customer. Okay? So, yeah. So doing DoorDash is very interesting. It seems like You know, they're a lot more thorough. You know, they don't give you orders outside of your area. Whereas Uber, you know, they'll give you orders based off of where you are at. You know, if they send you, you know, to another city, then, you know, they'll give you an order based off of the city that you're in. And that's why I was saying, you know, sometimes with Uber, I'll end up crossing 4 cities and 2 counties, you know, and that's good, but then it gets a little frustrating because, you know, I need to stay within areas that I can access fast chargers if I need to. If I get, you know, too low on battery. And then sometimes I end up, you know, so far out that I have to recharge just to get back home. So the school zones have started to light up already. So I'm going to head on back and go ahead and let rush hour pass. May decide to get back out, you know, if my car charges, gets fully charged, you know, what I think might be lunchtime. You know, it's 66 degrees right now, which is a great temperature. It's great. I don't know how hot it's supposed to get, but I do think it had said that there was chance of rain today. So yeah. You know, while I was up last night, you know, I had been thinking, you know, maybe I should start, you know, going to lift actual weights. Okay, it was on my mind because I could go to the senior center and work out for free at the senior center. They have weights and stuff. I've shown that on my my previous videos. And they also offer lunch for seniors. And I had signed up for the free lunches. I've only had one free lunch. Oh, now I'm getting tired. But I've been awake since about 3:30. 3:30, I took my medication. I did my lightweight exercises. Like I said, I couldn't go back to sleep. So I said, well, you know, let me see if I sign on at 5 o'clock. And that's because doordash, shout out to doordash, who was like, she is doordashing from 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, do they have orders at 5 o'clock in the morning? And so she'll quit, you know, after making, you know, $150, $200, and then start her other routines, which could be, you know, working out, um, doing her YouTube. Sometimes she'll do her YouTube while she's doordashing. For sure, for sure. Now, she doesn't just do DoorDash. She also does Uber Eats, right? A lot of women, they don't really want to pick up passengers, and I don't blame them. Nobody wants to be in a bad situation, picking up a passenger, and they'll throw you out your own car, take your possessions, and drive off with your car. And you could best believe they're not going to leave you there with your phone. No, they're not. And that's like probably the worst scenario. So yeah, which on the other hand, if you have a gasoline car, I can see, you taking, event trips or airport trips, but that brings me to the time that I was, charging down there at Mockingbird, where this guy was saying that he had just got out of serving time for 15 years, and he was out here, just got out, I don't know if you can believe anything that he says, because, he was like, from Colleyville, and he was all the way over there, and, at Lovefield, and but what he did tell me was the chargers at DFW were not functioning properly, and I was like, wow, why would people do that, because I had been complaining about, these chargers being, malfunctioning. So yeah, I'm glad I got out, and even though, I'm not sure how much money I made, whatever I made, it's more than I had. Okay? Period. And like I said, I didn't have to worry about my dog because she was sound asleep when I left. Normally, as soon as I hit the door, she's, like, you can't leave without me, yeah. Oh. So, it's probably a good thing that I came back home, because since she was asleep, I did not make sure that she had a way of going to the restroom. So everything happens for a reason. And I will talk to you later. Now, on the shopping order, I did have to do a substitution. The person that I was shopping for, they did not reply about the substitution that I had recommend. I asked them to, give me a suggestion if they wanted a substitution. I ended up getting a a natural tea that was raspberry flavor, was a different brand, and it also had antioxidants. I hope that she feels that it was a good decision, you know. And that's probably, in my opinion, if it was actually for her and she's on her period, she might even appreciate, um, a fortified tea. I can only hope, you know. So anyway, talk to you later.
You don't have to settle for just one delicious dish at
So
all
now
times.
I'm
Buy
going
one,
to
take one
walk on my
here,
treadmill
starting at
for
just
about 30
$14.99,
minutes.
but only for a limited time.